And joining me in the studio is Armen Georgian, our International Affairs Editor. Armen, how is this going to impact the presidential campaign?
It really depends how ill Donald Trump is. The news that he will be continuing his work immediately reminded me of what they said about Boris Johnson in the UK. And of course, Johnson was stable for a while and then suddenly took a turn for the worse and was put into intensive care. So we don't know is the short answer. In theory for Trump, both his age and weight should be factors. But he's also considered to be quite healthy for his age, as this kind of punishing schedule of campaign events tests. So we don't know at this point, Annette. But what is clear is that he can't resume these big rallies, and that is where obviously he's at his, not just at his best, certainly much better in that context than he was in the first debate, but just simply it's a necessity, for him to not be able to go to battleground states right now. That is a very serious thing, one would think, because he needs to win those.
And we're just hearing now that from the White House that the Vice President Mike Pence has tested negative and remains in good health. But I want to ask you, Armen, what does it mean for the Democrats and in particular Joe Biden?
Well, I think the first question is Joe Biden himself COVID-free? Because in theory, Trump could have been infectious on stage at the first presidential debate. They were obviously distanced. There were several meters, I think 3 meters apart, but it was an enclosed space. Trump spoke in Biden's direction for much of that hour and a half. So I'd imagine that they would have to make sure that Biden is okay first, actually. But if he is, we could see a bit of an ironic reversal. So just as Trump goes into quarantine, Biden's campaign says that they will resume, responsibly, they say, in-person canvassing in this last month. So they're going to get more volunteers onto the streets in those battleground states. So this is a chance for Biden to ramp up that personal canvassing. The Trump campaign, in reaction to this, says, we're not worried. We've been doing this for a long time. Biden is coming to this canvassing in the battleground states very late in the game. He's not going to be able to pull this off in the last month. But it's still, one would think, a major setback that Trump is in quarantine at this crucial moment.
Armen Georgian, thank you. Moving on, and Armenia says